the speed, lead, as well as Boulder sector for sport climbing. So all these competitors are fighting it out for that one spot to represent Asia in the upcoming Youth Olympics happening 2018. And of course, all these young climbers right here you'll be seeing very soon are the rising stars of their own homeland. Very, very much potential in each of them. And this event is brought to you by IFSC Asia together with the climbing partners Kailas and Gecko King. So IFSC has been fostering links, networks and friendly relation among its members, climbers and officials. And the last 2 decades have been a period of spectacular growth both for sport, climbing and the organization. So with the Tokyo 2020 coming up, with the climbing being included in the Olympics, it's really great to see how climbing has grown and developed, and you can see from the screen the amount of support that we are getting. All these supporters from all over Asia just coming in to see our strongest Asian climbers coming together, gathered around in this guerrilla climbing gym with a very conducive environment for climbing. Just everyone is really excited to see what is going to happen for the juniors as well as the Youth A category. And we see the tiles on the wall, so just a little prediction. I see very, very powerful moves around. So there's a total of 4 problems for each of this category. And all these 4 problems, they would have to be tackled by every single climber. And all of them will be given 4 minutes. 4 minutes to tackle each problem. So our competitors from Youth A Bouldering are actually born between 2000 and 2001. They are born on the rise of the millennial. And of course, our climbers from the juniors category are barely hitting the 20s mark. So if you just observe the route right here, this is the male third route. That you can see very, very voluminous roots. A lot of the dual textured surface has been used in this competition throughout the little leads as well as the bouldering. And first up is our climber from China, Song Hualong, the first climber of the day. Sorry, the first climber for the category. Definitely added pressure for him. He's been with us for a while, since the previous days. Just climbing out the leads as well as the speeds. And as the Youth A categories, a lot of them have to compete in all 3 categories in order to qualify for the Youth Olympics qualifiers itself. Because the score is counted for all the disciplines from lead, speed and bouldering, and the combined score will be the one determining their ranking as the top 6 to go for the qualification that is happening tomorrow. That's right, and all these while just training a lot, just fighting it out amongst all the other competitors. So the first route for them, a little problem for Hualong, but a few attempts later and it is a smooth delivery. Just reaching out, securing himself. A very, very nice comfort move for there. So just now we had a little sneak peek when our route setters were doing this, and we have seen how dynamic the movements that they were testing out just now. So we will see if our climbers will execute the intended moves that our route setters predicted. And of course, to get the bonus tile, he has to be secured on it, using it in an efficient manner. So right now he is finding his balance. This wall is slightly inclined. And the next that he is going for is not very nice, it's slopish. And of course the incline adds a lot of weight to the direction that he's loading. He cannot be reckless, and he has to make sure that when he loads, he finds a comfortable position to place his feet. Otherwise it will be dangling, or even worse, it will be a counterweight against him and just pulling him off the wall. But a little bit of time left, enough to afford him a few more attempts, definitely. So just now briefly we saw the end tile, so it's actually towards the left. So our climber needs to shift his weight to the left, and looking at the left side, there's not a lot of footholds anymore. There's nothing that he can step on, so it's really a work on the volumes that he has right now.
Very controlled movement, just pivoting off the left feet and the right feet just anchoring himself. And
try the coordinated move. I'm not exactly sure yet because we only seen the route setters like try different parts, so they didn't really do the entire route. And I'm not entirely sure how to read this yet. So we will have to see our other competitors and how they will figure this out. So Song Hualong is going back to the bonus again, trying to make his move towards the left side of the wall. Definitely proving to be a hard task, especially that there are no more footholds to step on the left side.
and of course, slowly moving once again.
Was trying that same coordination, trying to get his left leg up into the towel, but that is it for him.
But still, it is a very, very good attempt because at least he secured himself a bonus in the early attempts. So because of the scoring system, it works such that the number of tops matters more. But of course, the number of attempts to top, followed by the amount of bonuses that you get, and finally the attempts to the bonus. So for Hua Long, it has been a very good run. Flash attempt, and of course moving up again. So usually the first attempt would be the one where you have the best attempt sometimes because of the amount of energy you already have.
Yeah.
But as you move on to your next attempts, sometimes you get the muscle memory, so it becomes a very good advantage for you. Since the number of attempts would contribute to your ranking, so for the Youth A climbers, it is very important that they do their best within the least amount of attempts.
So back at the bonus style once again.
Very, very steady, very good grip right there.
There's really a lot of control needed at the shoulder.
So attempting a very different base height this time.
But I'm not too sure if the heel hook will help him because it will be a lot of his reach. If he's going for a static way, his span needs to be able to cross all the way to the top.
Or you could do a tension move, but his heel has to be really secure.
Yes. So he's trying to shift his weight to the left now, but it might be a bit difficult with a heel hook.
Especially since the towel itself is facing downwards. It's a downward slope. So as he moves higher and higher, the heel may lose contact.
Yep. And our climber has 1 minute left.
So that's still a lot of time to afford him a few attempts.
You can see him shaking off. As our climber continue climbing, they will definitely accumulate some fatigue on their arms. And it's important for them to shake off. So he's trying once again to get to the bonus position. Different way than he did previously.
It's a more efficient way. You save some time as you cross instead of having to bring your hands over. But it takes a lot of toll on your feet, the way you have to cross, because the entirety of your body is leaning towards only the left feet itself.
Yeah.
So that was Tajima for you from Team Japan.
We are waiting for our next climber coming out soon.
And that would be Keita Dohei from Japan. Taking very little time to do a route reading is Keita. Very smooth transition from a step to a fidgets right there.
So you can see that this route by itself has different surfaces. So on the right side, it's kind of leaning to the right side. Then it opens up to the left, and then further incline all the way at where the top hold is.
So Keita actually tried to do a toe hook on the right towel, the snake towel on the right, while he tensions towards the bonus. It's a very interesting way of doing, because it not only helps you secure your footing, it also adds less weight on your tension on the left. I'm gonna see if he's gonna attempt it again.
His left leg just popped out.
Very, very close. But it's got a lot of time left, so definitely afford him a lot more attempts. And you can see that he is determined to finish this.
So actually in this category, for male youth A boulder, we are only seeing two nations, China and Japan, competing it. And he got the toe hook.
Yep, a very, very coordinated move. Yeah. It's a very smooth transition from there. But now he's got to maximize his reach.
That swing, very nice.
Control it. Gonna do a drop knee again, like his fellow teammate, Mizuki. No. Okay. Maximizing your span again.
So Keita reaching up, he needs two hands.
That was Keita. Not very sure if he got the top. And that was a no from the judges, because he tapped it, but without leading too much weight on it, he actually kind of slipped off.
Yeah.
Not a very secure end, so it was a no from the judges. So he still has a lot of time left, so it's fine.
So he would need to get this coordination again. Very nicely done.
It's very familiar now. The muscle memory is there with him. So he knows he can get to that point.
Yes.
So he's got to repeat the same moves again, very confidently this time.
He has to be more stable. He has a minute left, more than enough time since where he is here in this position already.
So that would be a great one for Keita Dohei. A very, very good job from him.
It looks really
a look of relief right there. It's a very good start for his bouldering in the finals. Definitely have an early lead amongst the youth A.
Yeah.
Coming up very, very soon, we would have a lot more climbers. So just a quick replay on his prowess. And you can see at this moment, it is the moment where you can tell how much training he has gone through to get such a coordinated move. In a very, very neat beta. And you know that he clearly knows his own strengths and weaknesses. Just controlling himself, and
this is the part where he wants to make sure that he holds it for at least 2 seconds stable. Good. Next up we have Daichi Nakashima from Team Japan.
It's a very nice resting spot for him, apparently.
Yeah.
It's, inching his way, bumping it up.
It's really important for climbers to keep the tension on the wall, and so they're doing this by using heel hooks to keep their core
and
as
at the same
close
time
as possible to the wall. So this is quite different from Keita, where he did a coordinated move. This time around, he did the toe hook first. I will see if it works. He is literally horizontal on this wall right now.
But the problem comes when he needs to shift over,
Yes.
because the bonus tile, it is completely rounded. It is a smooth surface. So he has to load his entire body on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he has to either go down on the left hand to support himself away from the wall on the starting tile, or he has to adjust his feet again.
Yeah. And it looks really hard on the left shoulder. It looks like a very big strain right there if he doesn't continue that move.
Especially since it is only the first route for him.
Yeah. So let's see if he will try a different way, different method here. So once again with the heel hook to keep his body as close to the wall as possible. So it's really trying to find a good spot to hold on.
So a slightly different beta, a little bit more dynamic than what we have seen from fellow teammates Keita and Mizuki.
So it's really important for our climbers to pace themselves as they climb. And Daichi is figuring out how he can rework this route. Our climbers had been in isolation beforehand, so they have not seen how this route is done, and they have not seen the fellow competitors do it. So they're really relying on their instinct as well as their planning when they went for an observation of these routes.
That's right, the 10 seconds or more route reading that they have at every start of a turn is very important, because they have to prepare themselves for what is going to come. And wow, that would have been really, really cool if he managed to latch himself on. But that would be it from Daichi Nakashima from Team Japan. And up next is our top qualifier. The top qualifier is Pan Yufei from China. And as our judges and our organizers, just make sure the area is best suited for the route itself. And joining us very, very soon is Pan Yufei on screen, the top qualifier for the Youth A. Without any hesitation, just going straight for the jump. It's Pan Yufei. And a very close one, just a slip of his feet on the left.
You can really see the focus and how these climbers are really concentrated in what they are doing. Even at such a young age, they know that this is something that they need to focus on, and they're so disciplined when it comes to this sport. So he also did the same as
he
Keita.
attempted the same beta as Daichi. But I find it very interesting that we realized a lot of these Team Japanese climbers, including Daichi as well as Mizuki, instead of going on a high step for their starting tile on the right, they actually went for a heel straight away so that they secure themselves once they reach the right tile. Whereas for Yufei, he steps higher, but once he catches it on, he has to latch the left leg immediately. It's a very different way of climbing, but as long as it's the most efficient way for them, that is why it's really important to know what you're good at your strengths and your weaknesses, and to play it to your advantage.
From our previous competitors just now, most of them are moving in a very static manner towards the bonus and the tile after that. But Yufei is actually doing a coordinated move, trying to catch both at the same time, like this, launching. I'm not too sure if that will be the best idea because the tile above the bonus is a slope.
It's a slippery.
Yeah.
It's a slippery.
So I think that going slowly to it would be a better idea. But I mean, who knows? He might be able to catch it.
He has to play to his own strengths, his own weaknesses, and I can tell that he's quite a dynamic climber.
Yeah.
And to have qualified first,
Yes.
definitely
A
lot of.
statement. So Yufei right now regrouping. Looking at all the competitors, how they're doing this route, I have not seen one single way of doing. They all have their different style. And right there, this is the same as what Keita did with the coordinated toe hook. Yufei has 1 minute left to work this route out. I think he's getting closer now that he's secured that toe hook at the start.
But he's got a better feel of the tile now.
Yes. He's still attempting a coordinated move.
Still attempting a more dynamic, more coordinated move than what our previous climbers have.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the look of determination he had the moment he launched off, but that was it for him. With little time on the clock to attempt again. So he's probably saving up his energy for the next 3 routes coming up.
Yeah,
and
so
as our route judges move on to the second route for our Youth A finals. And of course, while the climbers are in the isolation this morning, all the way to the time now, which is 4 p.m. They've been with us for a very, very long time, climbing for the past few days. Definitely have a lot of accumulated fatigue from these past few days of climbing. So back on screen right now, we have our first climber from the Youth A category is Song Hualong from China. A very, very good attempt, straight to the dyno. And a secured bonus right there for him.
We have seen this, how the route setters did this ending. So it's just about commitment.
And
wow.
Very, very close. Very, very good flash attempt there. And a look of frustration again from him.
So the last tile is not exactly positive. It's the good part is leaning towards the right. So your right leg need to catch precisely, and then your left hand immediately need to get the last tile so that you don't swing out, because your left leg is not stepping on anything.
So at this moment, we can tell it is not just a dynamic movement.
Yes.
It is also a very coordinated movement, whereby you have to calculate enough not to overcompensate for that jump in both these areas of dynamic movements. Very big movements right there.
Really, our route setter are making our climbers jump and fly all over the wall right here. Really exciting stuff to watch. I mean, from here where we are seated, I can hear the crowd cheer as they see our climbers jump. So we will see more of them.
So we were all really, really impressed when he got to the tile, the second last tile, the bonus. And of course, latching onto the top towel.
with his one hand. So it just
But it was
needs to get
really a
two
huge PT when he couldn't get it
Yeah.
again. So we're going to try again. It's a very, very good attempt. Very good jump.
really
Very
powerful
steady,
move. Yeah.
very steady movements.
And again, it's gonna repeat.
So once again, the right feet actually latched on, but
Yeah.
it slipped off.
Yeah, but this time around his left hand caught
Yes.
on.
So-
So now everything just have to be together.
Has to coordinate it once again with a lot of time left to afford a few attempts more. But each attempt counts for them, as the scoring system is dependent on the number of tops that they achieve as well as the number of attempts to top.
And if you are watching right now, in Singapore time, it's actually 4 p.m. Saturday right here in Singapore at Gorilla Climbing Gym. And we have different countries coming all over Asia to compete right here. So if you're watching from overseas or locally, do tell us what time it is, what you are doing right now.
And of course,
And cheer for
shout out
your-
for your favorite athlete. Who do you think would come up tops, and who do you think would be representing Asia for
For
the
the-
upcoming Youth Olympics? And once again,
Another
Hua
one.
Long, the crowd is going crazy each time he attempts the towel to the top. You know, if we are feeling this much anxiety, we can tell that the pressure is on for him. Very, very close there. Once again, very confident
He's
jump.
really doing
But he's getting
everything
flustered.
right.
You can
Yes.
tell he's getting flustered.
It must be frustrating.
Oh!
It's frustrating to miss when you're already touching the last style. And the thing is, he's doing every other part of it quite easily.
But that would be it for Hua Long. Still a very, very good attempt to the bonus, getting it in the flash attempt.
And soon we will be having Mizuki Tajima from Japan. And right now, a quick replay from Hua Long's climb. Can see
So it was when his body was swinging
Swing out,
outwards,
yes.
his hands weren't able to grip it
Yes.
as tightly as well.
because those holds are not very positive. There's a small ledge for you to keep holding on to.
So I
it.
think the root setter is actually intended for you to do a dino move,
Mm.
but not so much to overcompensate, whereby you go past a certain
Yes,
angle.
yes. It
So it was
must
like
be precise.
it's like a dynamic load
Yes.
right onto your right or left hand.
Wow.
And while that was a very close save,
One hand, right hand
a
swing.
very, very close save from Mizuki Tajima from Japan. No. And instead of launching from that direction, very, very close. So instead of actually launching from the squatting position,
Yeah.
he goes to,
Yeah,
he leans,
his
he,
knees are facing left.
he faces left
Both.
and just leans in on the right before he launches.
So these athletes are really, really young. We have to remind you, these athletes are born between 2000 and 2001. They are just the start of this millennium, and they are already on this league at age. These movements are huge. We cannot not emphasize this. These movements
We
are
cannot
really
discount the
big.
fact
Yes.
that these moves take a lot on
They-
your body
And
each
they are
time you
very
attempt.
risky. So you cannot, if you want to do this route, you cannot let fear get to your head. You just have to commit and go. And the explosion from the start and then from the bonus style to the end, definitely
Very
quite
explosive, very exhaustive
Yes.
moves, yes. Once again, catching on, very, very close, very, very neat.
So everyone holding their breath.
And wow.
There you
That's
go.
A
by Keita
great finish
Dori.
from Keita. Fellow mate Team Japan.
I think the pressure just keep on stacking for the last few climbers that are coming out later on.
As all these climbers are coming out faster and faster
Yeah.
from the previous ones.
So
A
let's
quick
just-
replay again.
Quick replay.
A very clean move by Keita. Very nice catch, very swift. Of course, a beautiful sit-in. So finding his best position to be in and launched right there.
3 fingers right there. You can see up close on the top.
So he knows that he has to load downwards, but as
he didn't jump too high.
That's right, and as tries, which means there will be another intensive day of climbing for these climbers. So really hats out to the amount of endurance they have. And of course, once again, the crowd goes crazy each time someone misses the top.
He still has less than 2 minutes, still plenty of time, as in we can see that from the route you don't really need a lot of time to execute, so essentially it's a matter of catching that last style just within the time that he has left.
Very intentionally set in a way where it is not difficult to execute the moves, but it is a mental game.
And it's difficult to get the top. That's pretty much this route is. It's not guaranteed top. Yes.
Well done from Daichi. Very great attempt by Daichi. All smiles right now. He's happy that he's managed to get so far.
So I think all our Japanese climbers got the top for this route.
So far, yes. But of course, we still have a lot of other climbers. A lot of other routes to see the rankings for our Youth A climbers themselves. There's once again a counter flag and a nice catch right there.
On the wall we have Yufei from China.
So Pan Yufei is the top qualifier from China.
He got there easily too.
And once again,
I think
so
he was
close.
really going for the flash. He wanted that flash.
Yes, he really wanted the flash attempt to compensate for his fellow man.
So I think for this particular route, it will come down to number of attempts to top it. So I think some of them got it in 1 or 2 attempts.
So no one has gotten it in a flash attempt.
Yes.
But the number of attempts to top would be really important for this route. It is essentially a coordination route, not very difficult on the timing, but definitely takes a lot of toll each time you try to attempt the tiles. Up to the bonus itself, it takes a lot of energy to catch the first set of volumes and then to heel hook up and then to position yourself before you launch off for that final tile.
So his left hand just slipped right there. But it's all right. He still has time.
Plenty of time.
So there we go. Going back to the bonus. This part is not too hard for our climbers. So it's securing that top. And there
well
we
done.
go.
And that's Pan Yufei from China. Very good attempt.
You can see him a bit breathless. So quick replay.
Very coordinated moves. A little flexing right there. And the launch. So I'm moving on to our next route, the third route. The route judges would be making a little preparation, getting themselves into the optimum condition as well as the area, the environment, proudly sponsored by Gorilla Climbing Gym. So the climbers will be in the optimum condition to climb in with indoor air conditioning. So we're not going to be weathered. We're not going to be disturbed by any of the weather that is going on outside or the environment.
And our Singapore Mountaineering Federation, in collaboration with IFSC Asia, have been working on this project before the before even the event itself, making sure that all the logistical requirements are met and that we are able to bring this to you and to the athletes so that they can further the sporting pursuit. So right now, coming in, we have Song Hua Long on his third route of the day. Looking at this route, there's a lot of volumes going on right now.
And a lot of dual surfaced volume.
They are back. Cannot escape them in this competition. So the dual texture, so the white part of those volumes are the smooth part.
And you see Hua Long's actually skipped loading on the second tile, the smaller triangle right there, because of the dual texture itself. But of course, very, very close to the top. So Song Hua Long, once again, a very, very close attempt.
Seeing a lot of jumps today.
Knowing that all the previous climbers for Route 2 has managed to clinch a very good attempt on the top, this route would be very important to Hua Long if he wants to qualify for the Youth Olympic qualifiers. So just straight in to launch for the top.
This route looks particularly short as compared to the second route where it spans the entire wall. But for this one, the top is just there. However, because of the wall is quite inclined, that proves to be difficult for our climbers, and the tiles are not good either, so it's really testing a full body test, the capabilities of our climbers right here.
And of course, taking his time to get as much energy back as possible. So he's managed to at least brush with the last tile in all attempts. So he's very determined to finish this route.
Trying to make his way to the top again.
So he's trying to do a dynamic load onto
like
the
a very big cross.
top. So not just the fact that he has to catch that.
So right now, coming out is Mizuki Tajima from Team Japan.
Route reading, just taking his time. All these dual surfaced tile, the dual textures. We could see Hua Long avoiding all the white surfaces for reasons, and of course, very, very steady start. So Mizuki actually went to touch the towel a little, but most of his weight is loaded on his right. We'll see if he will cross or if he will static up. Probably going by the right. I think he's going by the right.
The way what you're predicting it would be.
Either that or he would do a launch.
Really
but
good
also on the
forward.
right.
Stable.
Very stable catch there. Maximizing the use of the volume. Wow. The amount of stability he has.
So the left foothold is, wow, touching it, but that swing looks huge.
I mean, he's been on the same,
on the left side.
on the left towel for very, very long.
Yeah.
And in a very awkward position for your own hands to be. But it was a very, very good flash attempt, so we would see more coming from him, definitely, since it is only his third route and his flash attempt. So next is the second attempt.
I'm really excited.
A little attempts.
Just thumbs up right there.
A very youthful climber.
So if you're watching right now in support of our Japanese climbers, just give us a shout out and say Gamba to all our Japanese athletes. So once again, we'll watch how Mizuki did this route.
It was a catch, a very good catch if you've seen his fingers.
And like I said, that tile is really small. It's just enough for half a pad of your finger, and for him to went to it dynamically and then being able to hold that swing without popping out. It's really, really impressive.
And of course, once again, joining us from Team Japan is Keita. Keita, very confident moves.
Eyeing the top hold right now. Different ways what we have seen from Mizuki.
Wow, great flash attempt.
In one attempt.
Definitely securing him a very good position in the tops for the qualifiers in Youth Olympics. And
We barely said his name.
The pressure is on for his fellow teammates coming up very, very soon.
We barely said his name and it's done. Really great job.
So you can see he is maximizing his reach and just very confidently stepping it on. Finding some shoulder tension.
The Japanese are definitely a country to be reckoned with by other countries right here, not only in Asia but across the world. I mean, during the World Cup itself, they also have a great showing. Really impressive move right there.
Very strong grip right there. Just latching on with the first pad of the fingers. And pressure is on right now for Daichi, knowing that his own teammate has finished it in record time.
Yeah.
Daichi.
Really strong climbers.
A little more explosive in movements, but still very static.
So you can see that when certain climbers develop their own style and their own strength, and they use it to their advantage.
Wow!
Scream on his face.
That
he really
is
wanted it.
Daichi.
There is
Daichi Nakashima. Big smile on his face. Very good job from Daichi, fellow Team Japan.
But Japanese climbers are making this route look so easy, but not be fooled by this route.
Do not be fooled by the tiles that you see on screen. The in cut is really, really intricate. The move is really taxing, takes a lot of energy. And the wall is inclined, so it adds a lot of pressure on yourself to balance as well as coordinate your movements.
And I guess our top qualifier once again will face another pressure from the Japanese climber.
So well done by Daichi.
So Pan Yufei from China knows that he needs to get this in the bag as well.
Eyeing his previous attempts on Route 1 and 2, this would be a very defining moment for him. The top qualifiers from our Youth A category, Pan Yufei. Very close. His fingers was pianoing on the tiles.
Yeah.
But I can see the look of frustration again. But of course, he's got a lot of time left. So.
And there's still the final route for us to see. And I think that final route would be on the slab side of the wall. So he's getting ready again for his next attempt. These climbers are really determined to get this top. So right now you are tuning into Asian Youth Championships held here in Singapore. So these athletes come all the way from different parts of Asia to compete and do the things they love. And right now,
wow, a very different way of climbing.
This is what you have predicted just now
Yes,
at
this
the
is what I predicted.
Yes.
But
So someone did execute what you thought would happen.
yes, but either way, you can tell that Yufei is really, really determined when he went for that top towel.
Yeah.
Just latching on with
Yeah.
3 fingers and crashing it, just making sure he doesn't move,
Yeah.
doesn't counterweight himself.
I mean, it's really important that his left hand stuck that tile before the end tile, because if his left hand came out, he would pop out the wall.
He'll be swinging away from the wall.
Yeah.
Very, very strong determination.
So right there, we're gonna be seeing Yifei again. Really good feet coordination.
Just catching and look at that left hand.
Yeah,
So it's
the control on the left hand.
so
was
he
impressive.
knows he needs to span it as much as he can
Yeah.
and tension on both these tiles. And then joining us on his last route of the day is Hua Long on a slab wall. So
You use whatever you can use. You use your knee, your elbow. to
anything you can find.
Yes, use your limbs to get where you need to get. So this part of the wall is actually not as inclined. It's kind of leaning in a bit. So this is a test of balance for our climbers. So very different from the first 3 that we had, first routes. Jumpy and very coordinated.
Very explosive moves, but on a slab wall, it's completely about balance, about core, and about
Grace
knowing
on the
your
wall.
own strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a mental game. The tiles right there. So very, very close.
So the tile on the right side of the stars looks quite poor. Doesn't look that great, and here we are also using those dual texture volumes from Simple.
So the thing about these huge volumes is that it's really difficult to find an angle to hitch
Yeah.
on, to latch your body on. So for him to have started on the volume is gonna take a lot of energy already, because just to balance your feet off the ground on
Yeah.
these volumes. And we know it is the smooth surfaced tiles. And that was Hua Long. And even the pocket that he was given is very taxing. So he's trying a different way of starting this time. It's a very, very different way. Much more efficient, I would say. So just trying to inch his way.
Yeah, this attempt looks better than just now.
Definitely better than just now. And it's got a lot of time left on the clock for him to finish this route.
He has to lean over to that next volume.
That's the thing about slab routes. It's a lot about confidence on yourself, confidence on your own feet.
Yes.
And you can see that the route judges has placed a small triangular
they give-
triangular tile right there.
And the part that is facing the climber is the bad part.
The instinctive part for the climber to reach out to
Yeah.
is smoothened.
Yeah.
So just moving up forward for him.
I think he's gonna use that as a foothold. Yeah, that is definitely for.
But if he
footing.
uses it as a foothold, it would be
Wow.
it would be a risk too, because
He's using his height, so he skipped that.
so he
smooth-
skipped that tile completely. And of course, same thing. In order to load on the left, it's very difficult because of the way the tile itself is
Yeah.
placed. So the route setters knew that what these climbers would probably try to lean on
Yeah.
the tile. So they placed the smooth surface
Yeah.
in the positive movement.
Right now he is moving a bit faster than before, already figuring out this part, so he's more sure. Really nice catch. Looking at the time, making sure that he ends it in time.
And oh, so close for him.
So that
Yeah,
doesn't
how long?
count, as it's not a stable end.
And
But it's all right.
the route setters are really smart in a sense. They know they could predict what these climbers would do, And we have yet to see anyone. We have yet to see Hua Long use the small towel.
Yeah.
The small towel in between the two larger volumes. And we'll see if our Japanese climbers as well as Yu Fei would manage to utilize it.
So right now we have Mizuki Tajima representing Japan. You are still watching the male youth A Boulder, and this is the final problem for them before we move on to our male juniors.
And Mizuki has a slightly more efficient, a very different beta. So he launches himself upwards instantly at the starting point. So just launching towards the...
He went straight for the tile,
Whoa!
which is different from what Hua Long did just now.
So this is a very good flash attempt for him.
Everyone is skipping that small triangle over there. Nobody wants to use that.
Not at this point in time. But a very good catch from Mizuki. Just reaching out a little. So whether they want to use the little towel to step or to have a very high hook, as what we are seeing here. So there's no towels at all on the top towel. So it's like a mental game for the route setters and the competitors, just making them decide between stepping on the smooth surface and risking it.
Or should they heel hook?
Should they put a very high heel hook?
So either way, it's both risky move. So
especially since there's nothing to catch on the top, unlike the Route 3.
Yeah. Really clever of our route setters.
But of course,
you can skip this tile, but the heel hook side is not that great either, so choose one.
And gotta be very confident in your moves.
Yeah.
And you can tell that Mizuki is very confident in his catch on the bonus. And once again.
So I wonder if he will go for the heel hook method again, or he will try to step.
I think he would go for a jump.
Wow.
So he's got a load.
But there's nothing there.
Especially since if he's going for the left, there's nothing to latch on for his thumb.
Yeah, exactly. So is he going to the right hand? Nobody really wants to risk with that triangle. I wonder if any... Okay, now he's going to give it a go. He's going to give it a go.
I have confidence in this. I have a good feeling about this.
Okay, it's now a matter of trusting. He knows that that tile is smooth.
I have a good feeling that if you're able to overcome that smooth surface,
I think it's mostly in your mind.
It's a mental game for them, especially since they've been with this towel, these kind of towels for so many days. We could tell that Hua Long instinctively skipped it, and then it took a bit of hesitation for Mizuki to attempt.
Yeah, it's definitely the mind. They already have this mindset. If I step this, I'm likely to slip. So
there's this possibility.
Yes,
but they also know that
they need the extra
may need the extra height.
Really interesting. So that's the thing about climbing. It's not just about your physical ability. It's also about your ability to make this instinctive logical reasoning with yourself as you're climbing, making these decisions halfway on the wall. And right now he's trying again.
You can tell he's hesitating a lot with the right hand because
a bit.
So he's kind of given up on
that small
volume.
It must be very frustrating to be touching the last tile but not being able to get that top, because you need two hands on the top.
And that's so close, and he's refusing to let go.
Yeah, really good grip.
Very good grip, very good coordination.
And the time is up. Really, really valiant attempt.
The best so far we have from Mizuki. The white towel is a mental game. We're going to see if our upcoming climbers is able to overcome this. It's a very, very nice top surface.
Some of our juniors climber are actually quite tall. So if they are doing the same route, I'm wondering if they could reach the last style just by stepping on the blue volume.
Or maybe if the route setters want to be, maybe the route setters will take it out like what they did for the elite finals.
So we will see later on.
We'll see. Of course, joining us again is Keita Dohei from Japan.
Really exciting stuff right here. Really enjoy watching all these people doing all these routes. Slow and steady by Keita, aiming for the tile. Same as how Hualong did this route. So one hand on the volume, blue volume, and then the left hand on the green.
But Keita is slightly taller than Mizuki, so we'll see if it does help him at all in the loading.
He is more confident with that triangle volume.
So for one, he's more confident on the triangular, the smaller triangular volume for his feet.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's also taller, so it could be advantageous for him if he manages to load at least one hand on the tile. But the way that the tile was oriented, it forces you to be loading downwards.
Yeah. And Keita actually just tried a coordinated jump, so as he jumped with his left hand
He
up, he tried to get right leg up higher as well at the same time. We'll see if he will try that attempt again, like the same beta.
Very, very interesting way of setting these routes.
Definitely playing with their minds, because there are many ways to do it.
Playing with the simple tile surfaces.
So he's trying to find a way to get his leg up. Still catching that small tile right there on the bonus tile. He just bounces up and down right now.
So the thing is that because it could be that because they know the smooth polished area of the tile is a very high chance for them to slip off. Their right hand catches so much. Wow, that's the third time.
Just bouncing up and down. Really good. And all the way down.
It's
so
Keita.
Just to get our viewers an idea of how smooth that is, you just imagine at home your floor, marble floor. It feels like that. That is the texture of that white part of that volume. So all the rest of the other tiles right here are sandpaper kind of texture. And then if you put that white surface, it's very different. It's really smooth.
Especially since these climbers would have chalk on their hands.
Yeah.
So chalk actually decreases your friction on smooth surfaces. So by the time they're reaching that area, their shoes will also be chalked a little.
Yeah. But the thing is, you need chalk to keep your hands dry as well. So it really depends right now.
Once again, the same exact movement. So he knows that he needs to load. Just gotta compensate for it with the amount of chalk.
So his left pinky actually pops out whenever he reaches up.
So we realized that he doesn't use his thumb because we've already mentioned there's nothing to catch for you. There's not a lot of room for a thumb catch.
Yeah, so it's definitely just on that forefinger that is going on top, and then the pinky pops out, so less friction.
And you see the right finger just really, really gripping very hard. So very, very close. But that's it from Keita Dohei on his final route. Joining us right now would be Daiichi Nakashima from Team Japan. I particularly like the way these tiles have been utilized. So making the routes really interesting and showing how strong these climbers really are. So all of them have been able to do pretty much the same kind of moves, the same set of moves, but to execute it is really a test of their ability, a test of their prowess, a test of their training. And of course, in the slab route is the mental game for these climbers from Youth A as well as our juniors, who is coming up very, very soon.
So pretty much the rest of this route are easy to execute for most of our climbers. So what really is proving hard is the last style.
Wow.
Very nice coordination.
So this problem is pretty much the same as the second problem, where you just gotta have one tile loading.
Wow, he got his left leg up.
Wow.
So he just used the right leg.
But it is this part that he's got to latch as much as he can. It's got the best so far. Very secure moves.
Really fighting hard. That was a really ingenious way of doing this route.
But you can see how much power you've got to have in order to launch yourself into that position and catch yourself from falling off a slab wall.
And the last tile is still proving to be a very, very hard tile to hold for them.
It's a little under 2 minutes on the clock for Daichi. And that was only his first attempt.
Yeah. Right now you are watching Asian Youth Championships Male Youth A Boulder Finals, and this is our second last climber on the last route A. Sorry, Daichi once again going for the top and slipping off.
But that would be it from Daichi, and we have yet to see any finishes for the route 4 of the male A. And coming up is our final climb from the Youth A category from Pan Yufei.
So after Pan Yifei, we will move on to our male juniors boulder finals. Yifei actually qualified first for our Youth A, competing against over 30 climbers to get it to the top 6, competing today in the finals. And in this category for male Youth A Boulder, we have seen mostly China and Japan fighting it out.
So once again, very coordinated, very dainty moves.
So we have yet to see a top on this route, and we'll see if Yifei gets it. The right hand just popped out a bit. So it's really important to brush off excess chalk on those because you want to maximize the friction. Our climbing partners Kailas and Gecko King supporting this event, brought to you by IFSC Asia right here in Singapore. And right there we get the bonus style again. I think this would be what we call the filter route. Definitely there's a everyone gets the bonus style, however not everyone will get the top.
But Yifei actually got to the towel for a little under about half a second.
He has a lot of surface put up, so that's really good, especially when contact strength is being tested.
But I really wonder how you're gonna finish this route. I mean, the orientation of the volume is really not friendly, and of course we've seen the small towel that everybody tries to avoid. But Yufei and Daichi actually put a lot of effort in just going past that mental game and just stepping on the towel. It's a very close call for Yufei. So probably exhausted from the past few days of climbing.
Once again, going towards the top. So trying to make sure his hands are dry before he goes to the top. Really fighting hard.
So far he has managed to stay there the longest, if I'm not mistaken. But to stay there is one thing, but to actually get the towel, we've seen how difficult it is. So hats off to Yufei for having come so far.
Yeah.
And a minute left on the clock.
For it to be considered top, you must get 2 hands and a steady hold for 2 seconds, at least 2 seconds.
So going much more swiftly.
I think this should be his
checking out the clock
attempt.
again.
Yeah. And once again, slipping off. And that is it. I guess we have to watch our male juniors boulder.
That would be the curtain call for the Youth A boulders. And a very, very good job out there to all our Youth A boulderers. Song Hua Long from China. Mizuki Tajima from Japan, Keita Dohei, Daiichi Nakashima, and Pan Yufei from China. So next up would be the male juniors, and just gonna have a quick review once again on the awesome progress from all these Youth A climbers. Just showing it, doing the best that they can to fight it out for the position to qualify in the Youth Olympics qualifiers. Happening tomorrow, the entire day of climbing, including the speed discipline, the lead discipline, as well as the bouldering discipline.
This Asian Youth Championship is brought to you by IFSC Asia. IFSC is an international non-governmental, non-profit organization whose objectives are to direct, regulate, and promote and develop and further climbing competitions around the world. And definitely the last 2 decades, we have been seeing a spectacular growth for both sport climbing and the organization, and they have really been supporting the growth and development of this sport. And together with them supporting this sport is Kailas develop climbing gears and sporting essentials for outdoor, and they provide the most reliable and highest quality of products with the latest technology. And together with Kailas is Gecko King in support of IFSC Asia. So Gecko King is actually engaged in rock climbing sports facilities and climbing manufacturing. And together with IFSC Asia is actually Singapore Mountaineering Federation. They have been working in Singapore, developing the climbing community here to promote exciting and cutting-edge programs relating to climbing and mountaineering skills via mass participation. And together with them is Sport Singapore, a statutory board of the Ministry of Culture, Community, Youth and Sport, and a core purpose is to inspire the Singapore spirit and transform Singapore through sport. So if you are new here in Singapore and currently here and wondering what you want to do, there are actually a few museums, a few places to visit, parks, and so on for you to check out while you are staying right here.
And otherwise, if you're here and finding a place to climb, you can always head down to Climbers Laboratory, one of the best climbing gyms in Singapore for you to check out. And a huge shout out to them for the provision of a warm-up wall for all our climbers for this event, the Asian Youth Championships. So back on track is the male junior climbers, and the start list for our male juniors bouldering finalists includes Kim Sung-hyun from Korea, Shin Jun-na from Korea, Taito Nakagami from Japan, Meiichi Narasaki from Japan, Kai Harada from Japan, as well as Yoshiyuki Ogata from Japan.
So this category is mostly Korea and Japan. Yeah, and the climbers in this category are born between 1998 and 1999.
So they're about 18 years old?
Yeah, 18 and 19
18
years
and
old.
19 years old.
And some of them actually have been to the World Cup and actually managed to get themselves a World Cup podium position. So these climbers coming up next definitely have a very extensive and impressive climbing resume under their belt.
And seeing how the male youth A have done so well in the finals, the juniors are expected to be even better, so the competition is going to be even fiercer. And of course, we're all going to be watching for the Route 4 on how any of these climbers would finish it.
And right now we have Kim Song-hyun from Korea.
Our first climber for the juniors category, Kim Sung-hyun.
For the Youth A Boulder, only one athlete has topped this route. So we'll see how many male juniors will be able to finish this problem.
So just fidgeting and finding the best position to put his left hand. So Kim Sung-hyun. But has yet to manage to find a good footing for his right feet. Slipping off a few times. So he almost tried a coordinated move to just launch towards the right towel with his right feet. It's a very different way of starting.
He's trying to go straight to the bonus instead of going to the right side. I mean, that's one way to do it. Even though the route setters always have an intended move in mind, sometimes our climbers, with their creativity and the mindset that they carry with them, everything is really open, up for grabs.
So right now we can see is Sung-hyun playing to his strengths. Very explosive climber, just launching for the bonus straight. So he has to load as much as he can, reach as high as he can on the bonus towel in order to get a good grip, because the bonus towel is rounded. It's completely rounded.
I'm not too sure if he's doing it the most efficient way, because as we said before, attempts matter, and if he keeps doing the same method but it's not working, he might just be accumulating attempts for him, and at the end of the day, the more attempts you have, it will bump your score lower. So right now he's trying to position himself. So he did a cross right there. So for our Youth A climbers just now, some of them actually heel hook the tile on the right side to go to the right tile above it.
So yeah, on the start itself, they heel hooked their right feet above their right hand, so that it saves them some moves, some energy. But once you are off the ground, you have to launch towards the right.
And Sung-hyun has 1 more minute left on this problem. Korea definitely has a good showing all around in different disciplines, not just in bouldering but in speed and lead climbing as well, that we had in the past few days that we are here. So we started on 5th July and right now it's 8th July right here. So this is day 4 of Asian Youth Championships right here in Singapore. And Singapore local time right now is 5 p.m. So if you're watching overseas, do let us know what time it is there. Let us know what you are doing and just cheer on the climbers that you are supporting.
A very different beta once again by Kim Sung-hyun. And that would be it for Kim Sung-hyun from Korea.
Next up will be his teammate Shin Jun-ha, also representing Korea. So you can see from your screen right now that our space right here is full of supporters from different countries watching this event right now with us.
And on screen is Kim Jun-na.
Everyone right here has been in isolation. Both are male youth A as well as male juniors, so they have not seen this climb and they were not able to watch their youth A do the problems as well. So they have to come up with their own method of doing these routes. They actually had a few minutes of observation, but they were not allowed to touch beyond the starting tile, and there are also no demonstration climb.
And that was a very, very good flash attempt by Junha. But gotta bump himself up a little in order to gain the pull from the tile, as much friction, as much traction as he can. And that would be one attempt.
Yeah. So as long as all your 4 limbs is off the ground, you have started your climb. So it's really important not to do a false start as well, because that will also count as one attempt. So our climbers actually have 4 minutes. So they must be able to do the climb within that time constraint. So it's not just a physical test, not just a mental test, but it's also another limitation added to them is the time. And the scoring system goes as such that it's number of tops, number of attempt to tops, number of bonus, and number of attempt to bonus.
And of course, it is already 5 p.m. Singapore time. They have been with us for the past few days, and some of them have been here to cheer on their juniors this morning for the finals.
I would think that for the youth A, only a few of them managed to get to the top, but most of them
managed to easily gain the bonus.
Yeah. So we shall see how our male juniors perform as well. They have been in isolation since. So in isolation, this is where they do their warm-ups, make sure that they are ready to climb.
But of course, since they are in an indoor climbing gym, it is air conditioned, it is likely that they may also get a flash pump because of the difference in the weather conditions. But these climbers are very seasoned. They know exactly how and what should be done. The best of the best amongst Asia. With lots of time left for a few attempts is Shin Junha from Korea. Much better now. The attempts are for Kim Junha. Securing himself a bonus right there.
So as we saw from the youth A, the move that they did here is very controlled. They couldn't go too fast. If you go too fast to the tile that is above the bonus tile, it's likely that you will come off because there is a sloper.
Especially since there's no way of doing a coordinated move, since there's nothing on the left for their feet.
But slowly Junha is managing to slowly get this route, but it's still a wonder if he will have enough time to get this. As we said, there is time constraint.
And as the time constraint reaches, that would be Junha.
Yeah.
But either way, it is only his first route of the day for the junior male. Coming up next would be Taito Nakagami from Japan. Taito Nakagami.
So from now onwards until the end for Route 1, we actually will only be seeing Japanese climbers.
They are definitely making a mark in the Asia Climbing Championships.
As well as in the world level, definitely. It's no wonder that the first event that climbing will be in is in Tokyo. I can't wait for 2020 when that happens. So Taito made his first attempt, didn't quite catch it. Very nice toe hook right there to counter the throw.
I see a trend right now. So a lot of these Japanese climbers from the categories we've seen so far are very good with their toe hooks.
Yes, yes.
They are very good with coordination moves.
I mean, some of our climbers here in Asia has been visiting Japan, if I'm not wrong, to learn from the Japanese climbers as well. So it's really good to see everyone coming together, visiting different parts of Asia, just learning and growing together.
With lots of time left to afford a few more attempts. Very good effort so far from our junior males. It's Taito Nakagami from Japan. So he's gotten the feel of the route, just making sure that he executes it again, just using as much muscle memory as he can to get to where he needs to be.
And just now for the Youth A, only one athlete managed to do it. So right now we will see how many male juniors will be able to do it. Maybe more or maybe the same. We will find out later on, as we will still have 3 more climbers coming out after Taito. So right now, right here at Gorilla Climbing Gym, the teammates of the Japanese climbers are also cheering for their teammates. So if you're watching right now and you want to cheer Gamba to our Japanese climbers, just give a shout out in the live chat or the comment section and give us a like. Tell us where you are, what you are doing right now. And I want to thank IFSC Asia for bringing us this Asian Youth Championship right here in Singapore. And there we go, Taito making his way to the bonus, and this must be a very controlled move. Very nicely done. He knows that he can do this route, so the top is with inside, but like I said, it's quite a distance away. And it's not really a very good tile.
Whoa!
And there you go. Really very ecstatic right there by Taito Nakagami. So that is our first top in our male juniors category. But we still have Meichi, Kai, and Yoshiyuki coming up from Team Japan as well. And on your screen right now, we can see Meichi Narasaki. So all these climbers came out top 6, our finalists are the top 6 of the juniors qualification that happened yesterday. Meichi making quick work on this route.
And also the fact that Meichi is slightly taller than our previous climbers. Very lanky, very strong climber. And making his way. He's just going very quickly.
So we will see if this is a flash. And there you
and
go!
That's Meichi for you!
Meichi Narasaki.
A very good flash attempt, showing off that the juniors is really expectedly stronger than most of our Youth A climbers.
So our 2 Japanese climbers coming out, Kai Harada and Yoshiyuki Ogata, has the work cut out for them, as our 2 of our Japanese climbers already clinched the top 4 Route 1.
So the pressure is on for our fellow Team Japan. Kai coming up and knowing the pressure from Meichi's beautiful finish right before him. So it's like right before he even got ready for his own attempt, Meichi moves. So actually, if you missed it, but Kai kind of just gave away on the toe hook on the right. So he just launched straight for the right tile on top.
I think he would realize now that that might not be the best idea, because that tile above the bonus is not good.
So it's just double checking again on the edges for the right tile. And our brushes, just making sure that the tile is in the best condition for our climbers. I really wonder how she managed to finish it so fast. And probably the same thought is going through the heads for Kai. The pressure is there.
I think his right leg is still a bit too low. He needs to really throw his right leg higher to catch the good part of that tile on the right hand side. He has about a minute left on the wall for this problem.
Definitely can afford him a lot more attempts. Just counting down. Wow.
Really
So
nice.
he's getting very confident
Yeah.
with this move. Just gotta manage to breeze through for the next.
Now he toe hooked that same tile instead of toe hooking the one on the right. So it's a different approach. Very nicely done. I wonder if we will see the top just in time. So he needs to get his left leg secure. And this is quite a reach. Really good view right here we are seeing of the top tile. He needs to get two hands.
That is a brilliant job from Kai. Kai from Japan. And up next is our top qualifier for the juniors category, Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Just a quick replay on Kai Harada's attempt on the first problem for the male juniors final. So right there, he toe hooked the tile that he is stepping with his left foot instead. And then a good push on the left hand. Just finding the right footing for his right foot and eyeing the top hold.
And reaching, and a beautiful one from Kai. So going on the wall right now is Yoshiyuki on his first attempt.
So Yoshiyuki trying to figure out this route.
Just edging forward.
So far, all the Japanese climbers have finished this route. Wow, that is one long coordinated move. I mean, I'll be really impressed if he managed to catch that.
Either way, I'm very impressed that he's even thought of it.
Yeah.
Definitely an unprecedented.
I wonder if he will do it
move
again.
of it.
I hope he does it again and then catch it.
I'm gonna say he's not gonna do it again. So very coordinated move, but a very big risk.
So I guess Meichi would be leading because he flashed this attempt.
But this is only the first route, so we'll
there's
see.
3 more. So right now our climbers will be neck and neck, and it will be right now we're back at this very exciting second problem where we saw youth A jumping, doing explosive movements, holding nothing back. So I think we will see no less from our male juniors as well. I mean, look at the explosive jump right there by Song Hyun. So these athletes are really young. These athletes are born between 1998 and 1999. So these definitely are the future of this community. And I think these will be the faces that we might be seeing come Tokyo 2020, when climbing has finally joined the Olympics. And right there, Song Hyun finally got the jump, moving his way from the bonus, and there's nothing else to it but to the top. Just popping out a bit. But he knows what to do and he knows how much power is required of him.
It makes you wonder how the junior A category boys, how the youth A category boys managed to make it look so easy.
Even at such a young age, they have so much confidence in the climbing capabilities, really gaining some climbing repertoire from themselves. And obviously this has come in time and practice. And with climbers taking the world challenges as well, it's really a strong community right there that they have in Japan.
Kim Seung-hyun, very stably on the bonus. And this is the move. This is the move that defines this route.
Yeah. So Team Korea and Team Japan are doing a great showing here in a male juniors boulder. So in this category we have 2 Koreans and 4 Japanese athletes. So these are the top 6 finalists that made it through yesterday's qualifiers. And tomorrow our youth A will compete once again, the top 6 in their combined ranking in lead, speed and bouldering.
Once again, a lot more familiar now. And that last move, seeing how the previous climbers from Team Japan has managed to do relatively well in the Route 1. So joining him now is our teammate from Korea, Shin Jun-ha. The pride of Korea right now, Shin Jun-ha.
So he did a coordination jump, but I think it would be easier if he just jumped straight to the tile at the right hand side.
Especially since we've seen how many climbers were able to latch on it really nicely, including Hua Long with one hand and of course a few other climbers.
So he is trying to rethink on how he can do this route. This is only the second problem for our male juniors. There are 2 more to go. He's trying a different way, trying to match only, but I think he's not gonna do that. He's trying to do go to the left tile and then to the right, a bit of coordinated. But I think the tile on the right hand side is good enough to go to straight away. I think that's what some of them did. So he's getting a little bit flustered over this move. But I think this part of the route is not the most difficult part. So he just needs to get it one time done. It really definitely takes a toll. Moving explosively in burst movements one after the other definitely gonna exhaust you and take up energy.
And it seems like there is no other way of doing this route. I mean, we've yet to see anyone with a different beta other than explosive movements and a dynamic jump to the top. And still trying the coordinated jump. It's Shin Jun-ha, pride of Korea.
And I think for the Koreans, when they say ale or go, they say kaja. And for the Japanese, it's gamba. So if you're watching right now, just cheer on the comment section. Cheer on for your favorite climbers.
Just a few minutes left on the clock. Enough to afford a few more attempts, but that would be Shin Jun-ha. Got to make every attempt count.
And there we go, it finally gets it. Moving towards the bonus tile.
With a minute left, definitely enough time to reach the top. So got to make his attempt count. Get his feet footing, stabilized. A very close save.
So barely stepping on the foothold on the right side. He needs to get it on a nice position right on top. And he has 30 seconds left in the clock.
But that would be it.
Give it a go. Yeah.
That would be it from Shinjuna. Very nicely done from Shinjuna.
Next up, we will have Taito Nakagami from Team Japan. So this is the second problem for the male juniors boulder finals right here at Singapore in the Asian Youth Championships. So we've been here since 5th July. Today is 8th July. So this is the second last day of this event. Really quick work right there by Taito, not wasting any time. A bit too much power perhaps, maybe need to turn it a notch a bit.
But still a very good flash attempt.
Yeah.
Nonetheless from Taito.
Really determined to get that top. But he did the rest quite easily, so it's just a matter of getting the end-tail right now. And I think for the end-tail, it's a hit and miss kind of thing where essentially everything has to align. You need to get your feet there properly, your right hand to latch on the correct part, and then your left hand coming in just in time. Very nice work there by Taito.
Very swift movement.
And there we go. Really
a crowd
happy.
Pleaser right there. Yeah. Very good job by Taito.
That is in his second attempt.
And of course, once again, proving the Japanese having very strong grip. And you just can see how very well coordinated it is. Very swift movement, very swift. Fluidly. And a launch with a very nice grip right there.
Immediately got that flag back out so that he doesn't swing too much. And next up we have Meiichi Narasaki from Japan. So he flashed the previous route right just now. So definitely people are waiting if he would flash this one.
Wow. So he almost went on the left hand straight for the bonus instead of getting his feet up. But I won't be surprised if he just...
Wow.
Wow. Again, so close.
Slipped a bit.
But I wouldn't be surprised. Just gonna see Kai Harada.
So far his teammates had done this route in 2 attempts. So if he wants to best them, he can do it in a flash.
Gamba Kai Harada.
Making quick work as well on this part.
Wow. Definitely within record time.
So right now we're going through this part of the problem really fast. So in and out and in and out, and now we have our soon.
In record time, one after another. So very confident.
See who is coming up in the leaderboard. And right now we will be moving on to our third problem of the day for joining the different categories such as the lead and speed discipline. So once again, Junho
on his moves. And is he gonna lunge for it or is he gonna go statically? He's gonna lunge for it.
And similar method as Junho.
It's a very, very good way of securing himself a position. Just making sure his right feet is secure before he reaches for the last towel. That's a very, very good finish. Very secured finish by Taito.
Next up, we have Meiichi Narasaki.
Doing very well in the first two routes and
doing the cross method instead.
Now flash attempt again from Meiichi Narasaki.
We barely had airtime of him right here. He's going in and out too
It's
fast.
a little too fast, adding a lot of pressure for his own teammate Kai Harada. Just see him in action again. Very controlled, very confident in his moves. Probably also because Meiichi has a lot of experience in other World Cup championships ongoing. So this route is relatively shorter than what he has gone through so far. But as well, his teammates, Kai Harada, doing really, really well with flash attempts on the second route for the male juniors.
Once again, just making sure that he remembers how he would want to execute this route. So the expectations are really high for our Japanese climbers.
Would we be seeing a flash attempt?
And another cross end.
Another beautiful cross end for a flash attempt from Kai Harada, making things not that easy for fellow teammates Meiichi as well as Yoshiyuki, who both have secured themselves a flash at this point. But of course, Kai with 2 flashes at this point.
They are essentially at each other's heels right now, chasing each other and their position to the top.
So we're gonna see how Yoshiyuki is gonna work on this route, and of course the final route.
Yeah. And it really looks like they are very familiar with these styles, and that really is very important. That comes with experience and training.
And of course, joining us is Yoshiyuki Ogata, the final climber, the top qualifier for the male juniors category. A little shaky, but getting back his footing. It's a very good display of power. Wow, a very different way of climbing this time. And another flash attempt from Yoshiyuki Ogata, really proving it to be really deserved of the title as the first top qualifier for the male juniors. Very good job by Team Japan.
Really fast, the fast few climbers.
I mean, just looking at him, a little shaky on the start.
Yeah.
A little overconfident on the grip for the right hand. And at this point, a little overcompensating, but still managing it very, very well. So he actually wanted to go for another beta, so he just hang there for a while.
I thought he would do it.
I thought he would do a cross in the air.
I think his second thought on it, and he wanted to be more stable.
Either way, it's a really, really great attempt from Team Japan. So up next again, back with us is Kim Sung-hyun.
And actually, the faster a climber finishes the route, the less rest time actually some of our athletes have behind, because they don't get the full 4 minutes of each climber, because once they are done, we restart the clock again.
And sometimes when you're not even ready for your climb, you are expected to go out and take your attempt. Kim Sung-hyun just observing the routes.
We didn't see a top on this route from the Youth A.
And Yufei is the one who has gone the furthest so far for this route.
So we will see how the juniors tackle this problem.
So that was the second attempt for Sung-hyun, having jumped off the floor. So that's Sung-hyun again, doing much better now. Trying once again. So to jump straight for the tile before he starts his forelimbs on the starting tile, so as to avoid the false start.
So right now we can see how the wall looks like. So compared to the first 3 problems that we had where the walls are slightly more inclined, the wall that we are looking at right now is a slab wall. So Song Hyun is actually trying to use the in-between of the walls, the panels. However, they are not allowed to use
the T-nut hole.
Yes, the T-nut holes. So he's trying to get his right leg across.
Very close call right there for Kim Sung-hyun. Gotta make this attempt count. So that's the thing about slab wall too, because you're so comfortable when you're standing in the standing position on the slab wall. It takes a lot of mental capacity for you to attempt to launch forward, upward, either way, because of how comfortable you already are. And knowing every little movement, every micro movement you make may cost you the attempt. So Kim Sung-hyun again.
So he has 1 minute left to attempt this problem. He has yet to secure the bonus tile. And this is the last problem he will be doing for today.
He's much more confident in his step this time.
Trying
He's
to
balancing
regain his
himself.
balance. Yeah. Just missing that small knob.
30 seconds on the clock. Would that be it for Kim Sung-hyun?
I think because this is final route, he will try once again.
Yeah, so might as well just finish it as much as he can, because it's the only time and only chance he'll ever get to try this route.
And there we go. Moving slightly faster than just now.
And missing the bonus by just a little. That will be Kim Sung-hyun. It's a look of remorse and look of regret right there. But still, to have come all the way here to reach the top 8 finalists for the juniors is definitely an amazing feat. Having climbed for the past few days in speed as well as lead.
Next up, we will have Shin Jun-ha, also representing Korea. So, Youth A found this route difficult, and so is some of our male juniors.
Now Shin Jun-ha making a much more steadier progress than fellow man Sung-hyun. This is a different beta right there, just punching in on the blue volume.
He's trying to get his footing, but I think his right hand is kind of stopping him, making him be in a position that is quite cramped. So the previous competitors in Youth A, what they did is they stand up full on the starting volume, the blue volume on the starting tile first. So their hands were up on the wall, and then they step over with their right leg. Perhaps Jun-ha will try that as well.
So this move takes a lot of pressure on your right shoulder.
Definitely.
It's very, very close.
Holding his lower back.
I mean, the way that he is
leaning over
yeah, on his right shoulder and just reaching out with his left hand, you can tell he's contorted in a very awkward position. And of course, trying a very different beta this time is Shin Jun-ha.
Bonus tile. Really have to make sure that he can load on this properly. Trying to get a good grip. Trying to heel hook the small knob on the bonus tile.
Very, very good progress, furthest we've seen so far.
He's trying to make some space so that his right leg can hook
So he knows this is his last attempt, last
Yes.
few attempts.
About 10 seconds left on the clock.
And that was it
is it.
from Shinjuna.
Next up, we will have Taito Nakagami representing Japan. Still no top for this final problem.
But we've seen Yufei go very, very far. And of course, Shinjuna.
So right now everyone will be watching the Japanese climbers, seeing how they perform for the past 3 problems right here in the male juniors finals.
A lot of time left for them. Very, very good close, very close call. Slowly just finding the best position again. Taito. Oh, so close. Once again, it's the heel that drags him away from the wall with more than a minute left. Definitely able to afford him a few attempts.
So Taito has less than 1 minute left on the wall.
Very confident again. And oh, so close once again from Taito. It's the same move. He's gonna keep trying again. And 5 seconds on the clock. That would be it from Taito for today's climb from the male juniors boulder. Taito from Team Japan. So we've yet to see anyone finish this route, and we're all eager to see someone, just anyone, finish this route itself. Up next is Meichi Narasaki from Japan, doing really, really well today for the male juniors boulder. So checking the starting tile to find the optimum area for him to place himself. Very sure-footed on the slab wall. Whoa, it's really tall. Wow!
That's what I mentioned just now when we were watching Youth A. I was
Yeah,
saying
when he
that
was
some
taller?
Yeah, I was saying that some of the climbers
Are
in
slightly
juniors
shorter.
Are taller.
And that is Taito just looking at him and in awe for his amazing progress on that wall. It really helps that you're taller for this
Yeah,
route at least.
because
Just look at him
I
cruising
mentioned in
through.
the Youth Aid, I said that if you are tall enough to just comfortably reach from the blue volume, that
It
is
would be
right there.
alright.
Yeah.
But a lot of them were slightly
Yeah, shorter, and
shorter,
they needed the extra
so they
height.
had to use that height. So you could see
He has a lot of
he has
room to
a lot
work
of
with.
room on the top and to bring his feet up like what Taito did. And That's Meiji Narasaki.
Really
So
superb
we're gonna see
performance.
if Yoshiyuki can manage to best Meiji. If it is a flash attempt for Yoshiyuki, it would be down to the number of attempts to top. But a very close fight. So just finding a resting spot.
So
And,
there we go by Kai Harada.
Excuse me for that, it was Kai Harada. So he's gonna scrub the towel himself, make it best for himself.
So keeping his balance there, getting that bonus tile.
It's a very nice ballet foot. Ballet foot right there from Kai. As well as we've seen it with Taito as well.
So this is really easy for Meiji.
But we've also seen how Kai has to step up onto the small triangle,
Yeah.
like what Taito did,
Mm-hmm.
because of his slightly shorter stature.
So Meiji has finished all the problems.
He's just sitting there with Taito actually.
Yeah.
Just looking at his teammate, cheering on for them.
Once again, back on the wall. Kai Harada on the final problem. And also this is the last category for the day. And tomorrow we will have the Youth Olympic Games qualification round for Youth A.
Very good progress by Kai.
Coming back down, just making sure he gets it right.
So he doesn't want to risk any attempt.
Yeah.
Codes are just moving.
So if you're watching right now, we are at Asian Youth Championship held here in Singapore at Gorilla Climbing Gym. It is now 6 p.m. on a Saturday. This is the second last day of this event. And this category is the finals for the male juniors Boulder. The past few days we have seen the qualifications and the finals for lead and speed discipline.
It's Yoshiyuki Ogata. A very good start.
I'm not too sure if that is allowed as there is no black tape.
There's no demarcation.
Yeah.
And since he's not called down by the route judges, I guess it is valid. It's a very, very smart way of doing it. Once again, the ballet toes. Very confident flash attempt.
Let's see, he needs to get two hands. Trying to do with a heel hook. He needs to get two hands.
So he's actually got one finger
Yeah.
right on the
Yeah.
thing.
So instead of trying to load on top, he's trying to just
Lean
press on it.
against the top.
But however, it also depends on how stable his heel hook would be.
It's very, very close. Just inches away from getting a secured footing.
Yoshiyuki Ogata is our last climber for the day. Getting a good grip.
So he loads
the
on the
textured
right
part.
in a directional loading. And that's a beautiful finish from Yoshiyuki. Very confident heel hook. And of course, Team Japan and the route judges is having last minute discussion And congratulating the Team Japanese. And still a very, very good job by Team Korea. Kim Seung-hyun, Shin Juna, Taito Nakagami, Meiichi Narasaki, Kai Harada, as well as Yoshiyuki Ogata. This is the curtain call for our junior males, and stay tuned with us tomorrow as we have the Youth Olympic qualifiers, the most exciting part of our event. The Asian Youth Sport Climbing Championship will be the first Youth Olympics qualification round, and the top from the Youth Olympics